Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Glory Hunter. We are getting to the business end of the season now. We begin the episode once again against our bogey team Toulouse, who we just about scraped past in that crazy cup game in the previous episode, which was followed up by the disappointing loss away to Stade Rennais, which has seen PSG leapfrog us and go a point clear at the top of the Ligue 1 table with 14 games to go. We've got some big fixtures left in the league and we need to be on it between now and the end of the campaign if we are to lift this trophy. It is definitely the most hard fought league title we have had to go for, and if we are to win it we will feel a massive sense of pride because we have been pushed all the way. Well, by the looks of it, they are starting with their keeper actually between the sticks today. Whether that will last, I guess we will just have to find out. Here is Chaibi on the left, who was the man who was put in between the sticks for that shootout. And here goes Leon Clerc. Oh, this would be the perfect start. Leon Clerc, oh, he's dragged it along the floor. I've put my faith in him over Rafa Guerreiro at the moment. And the one part of his game that he does need to improve on is his goal scoring. If he could work on that, then he would be absolutely superb. But here come Toulouse the other way. Merlin does well initially, and then again at the second attempt. Dennis looking for the 1-2, and he gets away. Noah Dennis. This is much more like it from the young Frenchman. Dennis, oh, it's off the woodwork. Soppy does well and actually finds Moses with a good ball. Moses has Renato on the run. And we've started this game brilliantly. Can we find the goal to go with it? Drilled into the middle for Leon Clerc. And this time we do get our goal. It's been coming. 22 minutes in, RC Lens lead. Here's Moses again. Reverse ball into Soppy. And we're looking at really dangerous. Into the middle for Leon again. It's 2. Carbon copy, rinse and repeat, and RC Lens 2-0 up. That is exactly what we needed to start the episode off. We've just been all over them to start this game off. Here's Moses, comes infield, now finds Lois Openda. Clerc once again in the middle, and it's a hat-trick for Leon. First half hat-trick for the youngster, and that should put the game to bed. Well, we have been absolutely magnificent today, and I've just actually seen, as we've gone through half-time, at the Velodrome, Marseille hosting PSG. Huge game in the balance of the title race, and currently they are tied at 1 apiece. That's the perfect result for us. Will it stay that way? Coman nicks that off the defender and could be away here, Kingsley. Fresh pace off the bench. Defender trying to get back with him. Still Kingsley into the middle for Taiwo. And Awonyi gets another off the bench. We're having a brilliant game out there, and the substitutes are now getting involved too. Now, of course, just to make sure that we keep the cherry on top, we want to make sure we see out this game with the clean sheet. And every time I go to say that, we end up conceding. Last minute of the game, Insua pulls one back, but it's not going to make a difference. The result stands the same, and our performance was absolutely brilliant as well. 4-1 victory against our bogey team Toulouse. Let's go and find out how the other two got on as well. That first half display from us was fantastic. One of the best of the season. And Marseille defeat PSG at the Velodrome. Wow, this title race just keeps on getting thrown wide open. I do think that means that we will return to the top of the table for now. And it might mean that Marseille jump into second as well. In fact, I think it does. Yeah, you can see the title there. It's now PSG down to third on 54. Marseille and ourselves on 56. The one thing that we have above both of them is our goal difference is significantly better thanks to our goal scoring. But you're a brave man to bet on who's going to win this title. It is absolutely just crazy. Keeps on swinging each and every way. So as I've said a couple of times already in the last few episodes, every game at the moment just feels like a cup final. Now today we actually have an easier fixture on paper against Bordeaux, who are down towards the bottom of the league, but so do Marseille and PSG as well, also have sort of favourable fixtures. We've got the last day of the Coupe de France as well to come after this one in midweek. So I kind of rotated the team, but I still want to make sure we get the job done here, as the keeper makes a good save there to deny Openda getting to the ball. So yeah, bit of a mixed lineup out there. We've gone with some starters, but also a couple of players coming in. Well, tied at the break at 0-0 after that brilliant first half display against Toulouse. Was hoping for a little bit more of the same. PSG lead at the break against Brest, and Marseille don't actually play until tomorrow, so a little bit of pressure on us here to get the result that we're after. Big second half performance needed. Herrera pings one out to Moses, whose touch is sublime. Gets him inside the defender. Looks for Lois Openda. What a ball by Moses. And this time Lois does find the net. That is a big goal. Brilliant from Moses Yuso though. Another assist for the Nigerian. And another goal for Lois Openda, who's closing in on 40. The pass is superb as well. Could have gone either side of the defender, but that's brilliant. Openda now has 36 for the campaign. Well, it's a good run from the Bordeaux man. And Onana gets something in the way. Still not fully away from danger though. And Marquinhos does get a foot in. Again, we've not cleared our lines though. Marquinhos again in the way. But again, Bordeaux come forward. And at just a goal up, I never feel confident, because we very rarely keep clean sheets, and we're going to have to find another goal if we want the 3 points here. Onana now brings it forward. We've got to do it quickly. Now it's Lois Openda through to Moses. Can he get a touch? He can, and Kingsley Coman will finish it off. Oh, on the counter, Kingsley off the bench might have won it for us. Another huge goal for RC Lens. Surely the ref will blow up, and there it is. In a game that we probably should have found a little bit more comfortable. It took a late winner from Kingsley Coman, but we will remain at top spot for now. Here we go then, guys. Final 8 of the Coupe de France, and we are facing off against FC Metz, who I believe were promoted to the top division last season. I'm pretty sure we played them in the league already, because I remember George's Mikhail Tadzi scoring against us. Here goes David. Good run. Openda, really should have buried it. I've got a very strong side out there because I want to win this comfortably. Seko from range, pushed behind. I just want to comfortably make it into the final 4 without any real difficulty, as we continue to go on a bit of a winning streak, and we want to keep that up today. Seko, Guerrero into Lois Openda, off the woodwork, and David won't get there. Really strong start from us here. Now Openda again. Coman into David, waits for the runner Guerrero. Rafa Guerrero, oh, it's off the woodwork again. It's been a really good start. We just haven't quite found the breakthrough, but this is exactly what I wanted from the boys. Go out there and go for the throat. Here's David down the left now. Stops. Waits for Guerrero now. It's Lois Openda. This time he does score. Past his former teammate, Pierluigi Gallini. And this is why I started him. If we can get 2 or 3 goals up by the break or 60 minutes, we can bring him off. He can have a rest before the next league game. But we needed his goals out there today. Lois fires us into the lead in the final 8 of the Cup. And Kingsley Coman has gone down here, and he looks like that could be him done. Maybe an ankle or a knee, but Kingsley Coman is going to have to come off here. Adama Traore, who has been good in the Cup this season, will replace him. But he's been on good form recently, Kingsley, and he's been cropping up with some important goals. But that looks like it could rule him out for a substantial period of time. Well, as good as we have been in this first half, I would really love a second goal heading into the break. Can we find one on the final attack here? Lois Openda, it is 2. Great time to get our second. And we've got 1 foot in the final 4. Guerrero into David. Going to start thinking about our subs in a minute. Here's Openda. Can we find a third? Seko Fofana. Big save. Corner for Lons. Looking for Taiwo in the middle. It's his first touch since coming on. And Taiwo continues his cup run. 3-0. 20 minutes to play now. It's definitely game over. We are in the hat for the final four. Corner for the home side. It will be pretty much the last chance of the game. Will be cleared by Kambedi, and that will do it. A comfortable win in the quarterfinals, and we've made it to the semis. Can we avoid Marseille or PSG? Oh, sorry, it's actually Lyon into the semi-finals, not Marseille. So we really want to be avoiding PSG here. Lorient would be perfect, but I would take Lyon as well. So I haven't seen who it is that we have in the semi-finals. Let's find out together. Please not PSG. Oh, get in. It's not PSG. The likelihood is we will meet them in the final. But we will play FC Lorient in the semis, who we have a good record against. That is perfect. We have a great chance to make it to our first cup final here in France. Lorient in the semi-finals. Now, it's just a one-legged affair, but that actually doesn't fall until right at the end of the season. It's a midweek just before the final game of the season. So if the league is still as tight as it is now, that could be massive, having a cup semi-final and then match day 38 just a couple of days later as well. Speaking of Lorient, we now face them away in the league, so a nice little warm-up to that game in the cup. We've then got the second leg against Inter Milan, which I think I'm going to interactive sim and then jump in if we find ourselves behind. And then I think we'll end with Ajaccio away from home as well. Also, guys, just before we get into this next game, Kingsley Coman has suffered an ACL injury. That will see him out for 7 months, so he won't be back until the beginning of October. Okay then, guys, here we go against FC Lorient. Now, they're having a pretty poor season down in 14th place, but of course made it into the cup semi-final. Here goes Openda, poor touch. Made it to the cup semi-final, of course, and we have been drawn against them, which is exactly what we were asking for. No disrespect to them. They have got some decent players, but of the 3 teams left, they were, of course, the ones that we would most want to face. Yeah, they've still got some threat, especially up front. Terem Moffi is still there. Steffi Mavididi on the left as well, so they're going to have some goal threat. But that is exactly what we're looking for here. With Moses, it's a poor ball in. Merlin does well to reach for that. Now, Noah Dennis finds his French colleague Leon Clerc. Back to Dennis. Now Openda and Clerc looking to just quicken things up. Renato making a burst from midfield. Renato Sanchez gives us the lead. The Portuguese midfielder back on the score sheet. He's had his injury trouble as well. But the goals that he can bring us from midfield really do make a difference. Those bursting runs from deep. And it's a brilliant finish. I believe that's what, goal 6 of the season for Renato Sanchez now. Clerc into Noah Dennis. Dennis back into Leon Clerc. Now Renato has Moses in support. Hasn't scored for a while, but will here. Moses Usor notches up for the first time in a long time. I say it all the time about Moses. His level of assists is amazing, but always needs to up the goal column ratio. And he's bagged one here, but I think that's only 5 for the season in all comps for him. If we could get him firing, he would just be absolutely unreal. Moffi away from Marquinhos. He gets back at him well, but now here's Mavididi. Steffi Mavididi, that's a brilliant strike. Instant response for Lorient just as we gave ourselves a cushion. And now the home side back into it. And Sudakov here, great by Ramiro. Moses just about manages to keep the ball in play. This time the midfield run is from Leon Clerc. Leon Clerc. Oh, he's put it wide. Unbelievable miss from Leon. Well, if we somehow end up coming away from here without all 3 points, we've only really got ourselves to blame. Some really poor finishing from us has seen us squander multiple opportunities. Now it's Guerrero. Can he get away? Guerrero back to Alvarez, and now Renato Sanchez. Good save. Should be enough to see us home and dry with the 3 points. And there is the whistle. We made hard work of it, but we got the job done. And although it was a tight game on the score sheet, it does give me faith for that big semi-final against them as well. We were by far the dominant side here and come away with another big 3 points. Alright guys, so it's now time for this big game in the Champions League away at the San Siro. Although actually this competition for us is the one that we don't have to worry about. So we currently hold a 2-1 lead going into this. My plan is to interactive sim so that basically if we need to, we can jump in if we find ourselves behind at any point. But if we lose, we lose. I'm not really that arsed about it, as it is the one that we've already won. So we'll see how we get on, although Inter take the lead inside 10 minutes. If we can find the next goal here, which we have through Jean Onana getting the start today, and we are right back in with a shout of making it through this tie. 3-2 now on aggregate. Inter need the next goal, and it might come here, and does. Back to 3-3 now. Pavlovsky with another. Through to Taiwo, and he's found the net and was onside. Inter coming forward again. Man over. It's 4-4 on aggregate. Well, extra time then. Inter's late goal. Rather annoyingly forcing extra time, as that means more game time for our boys out there who've already played a lot of football this season. I'm actually going to jump in here, guys. Oh, no, that's a terrible time to jump in. Plata. Still. Oh, what an awful goal to concede. Why did I jump in then? I didn't think there was any trouble. And, well, there was. In to make it 4-2. I genuinely don't know why I jumped in right then. I was like, right, I'll play the final 15 minutes and then potentially penalties if we get there. And I jumped in just as they were on the attack, and they've scored directly from it. We've now got 15 minutes to find a way back into it. Lois Openda, 5-5. And now we look to come forward again. Onana. Great pace from him. Still Onana. Square ball onto Clerk. Now Openda. He's onside, and we have won it late on. Oh, drama in the Champions League. Lois Openda off the bench rescues us to send us to the quarterfinals. We don't need to win this competition, but it's still the most elite competition in club football. Absolutely crazy tie here in Milan. 4-4 on the night, and we go through 6-5 on aggregate. Well, I wasn't quite expecting so much drama in the Champions League, to be honest. We've got enough going on making it to the Cup semi-finals and this crazy Liga and title race. I don't need any more drama in Europe as well. But we are through to the quarterfinals. We might find out who we'll face at the end of the episode. That's a brilliant ball in and a great save by Dan Kramer. Back to matters in the league here, though, against another team down towards the bottom of the table in Ajaccio. And here we come forward with Lois Openda just bursting into the space. Lois Openda opens the scoring again. It's goal number 37. He's 3 of 40. And I don't know, I said this episode we needed to go on a good run, and I'm just starting to get the feeling that maybe that Liga and title is just shifting in our favour. I definitely am not getting overconfident yet, because we've seen so many times this season the sort of momentum shift one way or the other between the three teams. So absolutely in no way am I getting overconfident or anything. That's brilliant though from Leon Clerc. This man has been brilliant today. Quite a heavy touch first time, but rounds the keeper, then just rolls it into a better position on the weaker right foot. finds the back of the net from a relatively tight angle, squeezes it in. Here comes Calvin Stengs. The Netherlands international pulls one back. And this is exactly why you just cannot write anything off. This game is not done, and the title is most certainly not done. Openda. Dennis finally gets his goal. Oh, we've been waiting for that one. Noah Dennis back on the score sheet. Celebrating with the away fans. Restores our 2-goal lead, but that is a huge goal for the confidence of Noah Dennis. Ajaccio looking for another before the break. The touch is heavy, and thankfully it was, because Dan Kramer came out to meet him and gathered the ball off the loose touch. 3-1 at the break. Brilliant from Moses through the gap to Renato. Oh, sends his man to the floor. Lois Openda is brilliant. What a goal. Openda brings the ball down and finds Soppy. Brandon down the right. Would love to get Lois the hat-trick. Clerk. Moses picks it up. Brilliant from him. Leon through to Lois Openda, and there is the hat-trick. We have been electric today, and Lois Openda hits another Ligue 1 hat-trick. Moses sent away down the right. Comes infield, still Moses. Onto that left peg. Oh, what a goal. That's more like it from Moses. That is what we want to see on a more regular basis. It's 6, bent home beautifully by Moses. As we enter the 90th minute here, it's been a dominant display. 6 goals for RC Lens and a brilliant 3 points. With 10 games to play, RC Lens, as they did at Christmas, sit top of the tree. Lois Openda just keeps on scoring, and RC Lens just keep on winning. Well, guys, I'm just simming through to the next game here, as I believe the Champions League quarter-final draw will be made on the Friday. It has indeed, and RC Lens will be taking on... Oh my god, I just cannot get away from Chelsea in this save. They have been just everywhere with us. We've played them multiple times. We obviously had a season with them. We had them in the group stage this year with RC Lens, and now we will face them in the quarterfinals. But guys, that is where we will leave it for today's episode. And as you can see, with results going our way in a few games, we now have a 5-point lead over Marseille and a 7-point lead over PSG. The Parisians lost to Stade de Reims just before we beat Ajaccio, and then Marseille the day after, drawing 2-2 with Brest. So both of them dropping points, and it is RC Lens who are now out in front by a little distance and favourites to win the title. Still a long way to go, and of course we have to play both of them still in the league, but this is just crazy. Title race potentially just shifting in our favour, but guys, we're so close to the end of the season. We'll probably have 3, maybe 4 episodes left, so make sure to stick around, and I'll catch you for the rest of the season very soon. Peace.